Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am your coach Aileen at Enerfit Wellness, and today I'm here for people who struggle to control their portions, the people who struggle to resist food when it's just available, whether they are hungry or they're not hungry. For the people who binge eat, the people who overeat a lot of food and they are having a struggle to actually cut down on the unhealthy behavior and embrace a healthy eating behavior. So I'm here for you today. I'm going to outline some of the rules that can actually help you if you intentionally embrace them. If you intentionally embrace the rules, you're actually going to help yourself curb the unhealthy eating habit. So rule number one, have a plan. Have a plan. Yes, if you know that you are a binge eater or you overeat, or you're the kind of person who does not know how to control the amount of portions of foods, then just have a plan. I would advise that you have at least 3 meals, the main meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, all set together, and maybe 1 or 2 snacks in between the main meals, so that you do not end up in situations whereby you are tempted to actually eat whatever that is right there. Plan your meals in advance, what you're going to take for breakfast, what you're going to take for lunch, what you're going to consume for your snacks, and what you're going to take for dinner. Map it out already, even a day prior, and then ensure that you get whatever you're supposed to consume earlier on. Go for shopping earlier so that tomorrow comes or the next meal comes when you're already set. You know, this is the amount of food that I'm going to consume at this particular time. Because if you do not have a plan, you're going to overeat, you're going to get into trouble or attempts whereby you're tempted to actually consume food because it is just there, it is available. If you have a plan mapped out, you're not going to be tempted to eat food just because it's available. Map out what you're supposed to eat for the next meal and actually get in advance what you're supposed to consume. That is it. The second rule is never skip your meals. Never skip your meals at any one point. If you know that you overeat, if you know that you're a binge eater, if you know that you struggle with controlling your portions, you're the kind of person who just eats anyhow. Don't start embracing a healthy lifestyle in the name of skipping meals when you know that you've been struggling with the binge eating. Because once you start punishing yourself by skipping meals, is just actually the first cornerstone or the first step to actually failing and going back to the usual unhealthy eating habits. First of all, the guilt of you punishing yourself, and then the punishment itself, and then after the punishment, the guilt, you are now hungry because you've like you've stayed quite a long time without consuming any foods. So once the food is brought to you, once you actually get to the table where the food is, you're going to eat ravenously without control. The third rule is enjoy your food. Do not start controlling your portions or trying to embrace a healthy lifestyle in the name of eating this healthy food, and yet that healthy food does not taste good to you. Like, you do not enjoy that food. Like, do not go start eating like, let's say, raw vegetables, and then it's not something that you really like, and then you want to say, or you want to convince yourself that you're actually embracing a healthy lifestyle, because you'll still end up going back to eat the foods that you like, the foods that you enjoy the taste. So what I can advise you to do is find those healthy foods that you do not enjoy, maybe you do not like the taste of it, and find and combine it with the other foods that you enjoy the taste, so that you can accompany, like, the foods that you do not enjoy the taste, accompany them with foods that you enjoy the taste, for you to actually be able to enjoy those foods that you do not like. Enjoy your food. Do not eat foods because it's perceived as healthy and yet you do not enjoy them. The fourth rule is never say never. If you know that you are a binge eater, or you've been consuming your food aimlessly, overeating your foods, and you're trying to embrace a healthy lifestyle, never say never. This is what I mean. Do not say that I will never take wheat again, or I will never take sugar anymore, and then you stop it at once, and then you say you begin well, this week I'm not going to take wheat. You begin well the second week. By the time it's the third week, you'll still go back to that wheat. What I can advise you to do is start by reducing the amount of portions of that food that you feel like you've been over consuming it. Maybe you've been over consuming wheat products, or you've been over consuming sugary foods, or you've been over consuming a lot of fatty foods. So the first thing to do is to control the portions. Yes, control the portions. Cut them down slowly by slowly. But never say never. Never say I'll never consume wheat again. I will never consume sugar again. And then you begin punishing your body by not giving it that specific nutrient. It could be a carbohydrate, or it could be maybe that specific particular food. You are still going to end up going back to that very same food that you stopped eating. So what you can do, control the portions, cut down, begin by cutting down the amount of portions that you consume for that particular food that you feel that you've been over consuming it. Never say never. Fifth rule is keep a journal. Always write down what you consume, whether it is for breakfast, whether it is for snacks, lunchtime, or dinner time. Just ensure that you, at the end of the day, just ensure that you put down each and every kinds of foods that you consume. By writing down the foods that you've consumed helps you keep yourself accountable on your journey, your fitness journey, or your nutrition journey. Yes, so always keep a food journal with you. Record down each and everything that you consume. By writing down each and everything that you consume, each and every food that you consume will actually help you get in touch with who you are and with the kinds of food that you actually indulge in every day. Because let's say on Monday you put down you've been consuming unhealthy foods, on Tuesday unhealthy foods, on Thursday unhealthy foods. Actually, it will come to a realization that you're actually consuming unhealthy foods, and you need to change that kind of behavior. It will actually help you get in touch with yourself. So keep a food journal that will help you track your nutrition journey, and it will boost your health in the end. The sixth rule is find a friend. You'll find that most people who tend to overeat or binge eat, they eat aimlessly. They're actually people who want to eat just alone, or they isolate themselves and then they binge eat. They eat a lot of food because they feel like if they eat with the people in a crowd, or if they eat with someone, that person is going to judge them. So if you want to actually help yourself control this unhealthy eating habit, find a friend who is going to help or walk this journey with you. Keep updating that person that I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to make these kinds of meals. Even help you can actually tell that person to be just reaching out to you and ask how you're faring on with your journey, if you're trying to follow the rules, or if you're trying to cut down the unhealthy eating behavior or not. Sometimes just eat with friends, like come together, eat together, and just enjoy the company of the friends, and not isolate yourself and eat a lot of foods because people will judge you. So the sixth rule is find a friend. If you have a friend that you're going to walk this journey with, then that is good. You're going to be helped, and you're going to cut that unhealthy eating behavior. The rule is no distractions while you're eating. You don't want to be eating while watching TV. You don't want to be eating while watching a movie. You don't want to be eating while reading a book. Yes, because you need to actually be present when you're eating your food, when you're actually partaking that meal. Be present, enjoy the taste of the food. Know the actual amount of food that you have actually consumed. When you're present, you'll be able to detect when you are already full and when you're not full. But if you're eating with so many distractions in front of you, you're reading, you want to watch a movie, you won't actually realize that I think I need to stop from here, I am full. Yes, so always avoid any distractions when it is time for eating. Be present when you're eating, for you to be able to know the amount of foods that you have actually consumed, for you to be able to detect when to stop eating when you're full. Yes. no distraction. Eighth rule is clear your cupboard. What do I mean? So it's very easy for someone to actually convince himself or herself that because I have this whole box of biscuit that it's already opened, I have to clear it. I have to clear it all. Or maybe because I have this 2 liters of juice that I have already opened it and have begun already consuming it, I have to clear it all. Like because I have this packet of cookies that I have begun consuming, I think I just have to clear it all. Always clear your cupboard. Don't clear by consuming it all at once. You can clear it by sharing out with friends, with neighbors. This is if you know that you actually struggle with overeating, binge eating, or eating aimlessly, or you have this emotional eating behavior. Always clear your cupboard. Do not have packets of biscuits, packets of a lot of junk foods that are already opened in your pantry, because you're actually going to actually consume them without control, just because they are already open and you feel like you need to consume them all at once. So if you know that you're not disciplined enough to actually control the portions of food that you have already opened them in your pantry, then you can actually clear them out by sharing out with friends or by eating them out with other family members. But do not store them in your pantry in the name of I'll be eating just little by little, and yet you have this overeating or binge eating problem. The ninth and the last rule is do not test while cooking. Yes, treat cooking just like any other job. Yes, you've gone to cook and it's your job. You're not going to that job to mess things up or reduce the amount of portions that has been put. Yes, so treat cooking as a job. Do not end up, and actually this is normally recommended if you know that you struggle with overeating or binge eating or just eating aimlessly, and then you stay alone, because once you begin testing that first mandazi or that first chapati that you're actually preparing, you'll find yourself eating a lot of them before even getting to that table and eating the foods now, or getting to the table at that particular time of consuming that meal. You'll find that you have already consumed much that you even do not know, because you're eating while you're cooking, so you even do not know the right amount of the portion of food that you have consumed. So if you know that you're struggling with this unhealthy eating behavior, try to be disciplined. Try challenge yourself to not taste the foods when you're preparing them. If you have some other people in the house, you can actually call them and test for me. Is this salt enough? Is this whatever the spice that you have put in enough? Call someone and just test for you, because you're trying to create this culture of not eating a lot of foods, or not eating when you're preparing your meals, because it's one kind of behavior that might actually make you overeat without knowing, because you're just eating the portions without knowing. By the time you're getting to the table, maybe you have already consumed the food, the amount of food that you are actually supposed to consume during that meal, and yet it's when you want to begin eating. So don't do that. Don't taste the food while you're cooking. That is, if you know that you're not disciplined enough to just taste once and leave it at that. Don't taste. Make that a challenge for you. So if you know that you overeat, as from today, make it a challenge not to eat or not to taste the food when you're preparing. Call someone to test for you. If you're alone, you can decide to just finish cooking and then test it later. That is it, and it's the last one. I hope this video has helped you. Click the subscribe button and let's keep learning.